right, baby.
Yeah, why you mad? I got a bag, bro. Name hot in these streets, no Tabasco. But I'm so stuck, that's a fact, yo. And if you think I'm frontin', you can run it back, yo. Go and run it back. You know that I run it. Everything you wanna do, I already done it. And I got your little boo telling me she love me. I got this one, that one. Damn, it's gonna be a long night. Yeah. You know. I said, damn, it's gonna be a long night. Yeah, let's go. Look. I tell shorty drop it for a real one. Yeah. Go ahead and pop it, let me feel some. Do it for the boy with a bag now. Movie star money making everybody act out. I don't lie to these women, if I want them then I tell them. Don't get fly for these women, I was born with these propellers. All my haters cannot beat me, so I call them acapellas. See, I'm only getting better, you only get jealous. You know that I run it. Everything you wanna do, I already done it. And I got your little boo telling me she love me. I got this one, that one. Damn, it's gonna be a long night. You know, I got this one, that one. Damn, it's gonna be a long night. Yeah. MD, JPB. You already know, baby. Yeah. I said, I already done it. Everything you wanna do, I already. You know that yeah. I said, you know that yeah. Damn, it's gonna be a long night.
Hey, how's everyone going? How's everyone doing? Okay, can't even speak at the start of that. And welcome everyone to the Prodigy Esports Nations high tier event. We've got some very good pro teams and tier 1 teams in this lobby tonight. And of course, joining me is the one and only Highland Wolf.
Hello! How are you doing, man? It's Sunday night, but we're not on the FPP scrims this night. It's a little bit of something different, isn't it, Tarzan?
Completely different. We're moving up, doing something different for the community, and with PMCO around the corner, this is going to be a really good practice. And look at the tier of teams in here, man. Absolutely crazy. Let's go through the teams we have for tonight. According to team slots, Team 5, we have Unicorns of Love, Team 6, EAX Team, Team 7, Panda, Team 8, we have Clash EU, Team 9, MVP Gaming, Team 10, we have Execute, Team 11, Destiny, Team 12, we have SCRIMFARM, Team 13, we have Terra, Team 14, NGG, Team 15, we have HARDSHIFT, Team 16, the Captains, Team 17, the Defeaters, Team 18, we have MCES ITALIA, Team 19, the other side. Team 20, we have 202 Squad, 21 Lost. Last but not least, we have SPECIALX. And that is going to be our 18 teams in this lobby. Seems like we're still just waiting for one player. And of course, I can do a little bit more transitions and stuff. But we can see we're just waiting for that one. And oops, someone hopped out as well. Hopefully, we will get those 4 teams. This will be a very, very exciting one. So, Highland, talk to me. What will you be looking out for? There are a lot of known team names in here.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your impression of them, for sure.
So, obviously, I'm looking in terms of the older FPP scrims. We're looking at teams like HARDSHIFT coming in, especially from their November skin at the PMCO UK Northern Ireland Cup, where they actually came 9th position, which was the best UK Northern Ireland teams. And we're looking at those sort of teams there with HARDSHIFT. But I think obviously the main thing here to be looking at is these new teams, right, coming in, the tier 1 teams, the pro teams into this high tier league, of course. Unicorns of Love, Clash, MVP Gaming, SCRIMFARM, just to name some of them here. Big time teams, and particularly I've casted teams like Clash, like Unicorns of Love, like MVP in other pro scrims over 2020, and I've been able to see thankfully how they've improved, and these are scary teams to be sure. And I think what we're going to see that is different from our old FPP Sunday scrims is a lot more reserved, a lot more patient play, and a lot more tactical play as well, in terms of really seeing even particularly the long range shots coming in from these buildings into the end cars, into the rushes, man, into these compounds. Expect a lot more aggressive but controlled play, I think.
For sure, for sure. I also had the pleasure to and the honor to cast with the one and only Imperium the past few days in a PMCO league, and I've seen a lot of these teams like perform stronger and stronger, and a lot of them have a new roster coming into this new PMCO split, and this is the time, and this is the day, literally the day before we start that 2021 spring split tomorrow. So that will be it, and that is me seeing these teams finalizing their roster, showing what they can do, new chemistry, new drop locations, and I'll tell you a few things. For example, a Panda likes going to pretty much all farm, is either one of that, and just count on that. And SCRIMFARM will go more towards like Shelter, Prison, Split. I'm quite certain of that as well. Not quite sure what NGG is going to do, and some of these teams casted for a few times now, but they are still evolving, so that will be what we are looking out for. And that is us. Look at us go! Game 1 of the Prodigy Esports Nation high tier event. We will do scrims after this, but for tonight, the winners of tonight's 4 games, after those 4 games, right, we'll get that £60 cash prize just for that one team, top 1 only. And just take it away, Highland, talk to us about this playing path.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't mind £60 pocket money on a Sunday night, but you do have, of course, this playing path going from the southwestern side all the way up to Stalbert, which is going to be an interesting playing map, because usually what we see is it going through Sosnovka through the direct center, and particularly through these areas like Farm and Milta. But because these areas aren't in play, we're going to see these teams who like to drop in the west have a harder time, because these areas like Hospital, like the Everest area, and it's particularly around Gatka Fields, are going to be a lot more contested, even down towards the Quarry, Primorsk Ferry Pier area, and especially if this zone is then going to shift towards the Stelba area, it's going to be a long, hard-fought dash towards that first zone.
Yeah, like, I don't know whether some of these teams like to go towards military base. If they want, they need to get that car early and just move, like, towards that straight away. We've got some trios here. We've got captains running a trio. We've got 202 with a trio also for Lost. So that one man down is not going to be easy. And look at all these teams actually prioritizing so much of north to the river there. And that is quite surprising. Execute heading towards that Georgia Pool. We've got some... It's fate. If we have seen him in PMGC, we would know this name all the way from PMCO into PMGC, and such an honor to have them here tonight. Look at the congestion, Highland Wolf, around the school apartments area, and all those teams hovering over Yasnaya. That's going to be some early action that we want to see.
Yeah, particularly Yasnaya, we see multiple teams here. We've, of course, got the side of 202 squad there. We have the side of X... KJ there, and also the side of EA moving in Exotic Alliance there towards the western side of Yasnaya and Polyana. And I think now we obviously see our first blood here coming off, and it does look like DAF are unfortunately going to start to lose a couple players here. Hole's also going down there and will be fisted out of the game, and alongside their comrade Wason there, unfortunately, and it doesn't look so good for this squad first game.
2 early kills for NGG. I haven't seen them in a while, but I know they've been playing high-tier scrims. That's them trying to get a lot of early action, contesting the cars. They're killing 2 of the defeaters, and now trying to kill the new IGL of SCRIMFARM. Hackshot goes down as well. 3 kills going to NGG early. Wow.
Yeah, NGG here coming up strong, particularly noticing that, of course, Banger now also has a vehicle in place, started to go for a little bit of a risky split, but it paid off in dividends for this squad here. Still all 4 players alive. They have the vehicle, and they're going to make that quick rotation down towards the shelter farm Milta area, and they're going to try loot up alongside these bridge side areas on the south of the Wrangler here. And we do also see this zone has been very kind to us for the first game here. It's going to be a very central zone, which means all of these teams are going to be inside of it. But what that doesn't tell us, Tarzan, is it where that zone is going to be really finishing up from this first phase. We need to wait until those later phases, which means the later stages of this game will be a lot more fast-paced, a lot more brutal.
And obviously, for farm area as well, it's a bit hard to reach for this one, for this phase 1 circle. If we remember the plane path basically going across the top left of this map, and it will make some of these powerful positions along the southern coast pretty empty early, unless we see teams like Defeaters obviously losing 2 players early, so that will push them away, and they are actually in an area that's pretty empty right now around farm. Also in here around North Georgia Pole, the side of Destiny taking 1 early kill onto Execute there.
Yeah, Execute not having a good time, but also not having a good time. Is this really congestion here beside Yasnaya Polyana? We mentioned it earlier. We have 202 here. We also have SPECIALX here trying to take control of this side of Yasnaya Polyana, and it does look like we actually have now 1 member down, of 202, and also 1 member down of SPECIALX, which means we now have the advantage still for SPECIALX. They do have 3 players versus the 2 up currently. Make that 3 once Mido is revived, which he has now been, and now we'll be able to heal up and try reposition inside this building here.
3 teams in here. 202 only rocking a trio, but we'll hold these eastern side pretty strong, but they don't have the strongest building, of course. SPECIALX know that is a very typical 4-stack that they use, and maybe the side of EAX team will come in here to third party across that road. And what we also saw on the screen earlier, Highland Wolf, was SCRIMFARM having further issue. They lost another one to clash around those compounds to the north side of Shelter.
Yeah, unfortunately, SCRIMFARM not having a good game for his first match here. But I do want to go back to this 202 versus SPECIALX matchup here. And I was interested to see that actually Izumitsu didn't go round for the flank to try potentially cut off an escape route, which Hermes there is doing so for the side of SPECIALX here. We actually see Hermes on the flank side potentially looking to try catch someone out on the roof if they step too close towards one side there. And we also see ours now going inside. So I think what SPECIALX are missing out on here is they're missing out on a potential side flank shots here. And we do see actually, despite that 4-stack advantage, despite the high ground advantage for long-range battles, we do actually see Mido take down one of SPECIALX's. Izumitsu does go down.
And just fight happening everywhere, Highland Wolf. Let's bring ourselves to Execute. They've got a knock by Rolkers. They are still fighting here in North Georgia Pool, and this is a time for them to really wrap the mind up, and that is another knock by Its Fate onto Sleepy from Destiny. This flush will come through, and that is them with the 2-kill advantage. 3 versus 2 right now, but they don't have a position in the circle. Let's have a quick look as well on that mini-map in the wild. That some teams, like I said, PANDA did go for Primos, and they have to come through. And so many teams for MCES as well, and MVP on that top right of the map, and that will be them needing to find a spot in. Meanwhile, Its Fate gets knocked as he's trying to hold down this 4-stack.
Yeah, unfortunately tried to go up the building, but fell down, slipped off the side of the building, gets knocked by the ground damage there, and that will be Zio now rotating to try support his teammate. But I think that mistake will cost him their life. Surely GZ will be able to take advantage of this.
Well, the overlook
up to Volsky.
Definitely, like Rogus there, and he is a very experienced player. We saw him, he was with Godsend before. So with PMG's experience, this is the time as he holds a beautiful angle to stop the thirst from coming through. The pickup will be completed as they continue with this 3 versus 2, just continuously challenging that one, stopping GZ to peak. To get more from Destiny, that's not going to be an easy one. Look at the map right now, Highland Wolf. Lucky Nostra is in Milta already, and a lot of the farm area is actually empty. The congestion is on the eastern side.
Yeah, we've obviously this eastern side congestion really around the Yasnaya Polyana, around that Lepolka area, and controlling potential flanks with vehicles round to the northern side and map from that entire end of Erangel there. But we do see that 1-for-1 trade as this fight continues between the side of Execute.
Nice.
And that will be Execute flushing out the rest of Destiny, and Destiny will fall down, and they will be in 18th position.
And we talked about that congestion. We may need to go back to Yasnaya Polyana because those two teams are there, but 202 pulled away to that mentioned compound. I think is a good overlook. Is a not quite center, but it's fine. You can get a lot of information around the mentioned area. That's a new spot for 202. Also approaching mansion, we have SCRIMFARM, MCES. To those four houses to the northern side of mansion. More in the middle, though, we have the side of... What's the name again? The other side.
Exotic Alliance. Exotic Alliance. Yeah, there you go. But I was interested in the fact that Exotic Alliance didn't actually, and especially 202 squad didn't stay around in that area. With Exotic Alliance, they're moving towards the other side of SPECIALX. SPECIALX potentially would have been sandwiched between 2 squads here, stuck in the top of the building because it all chose to go inside of that 4-stack, and that could have been a tricky position for him to try find an escape, especially when 202 squad got that knockdown with EA behind him. But I think because EA then actually backed off, 202 squad said, okay, we're going to back off too. We're going to now go further towards the center of this zone, and we're going to try control where this red zone actually see in the map right now is around Potato Hill, around that roadside, and you're going to get valuable vision from teams coming up from Milta and Farm, but you're also going to have position and some vision over the school area in case you need to move back up more.
That's completely correct. And look at these teams needing to find a spot now. We've got 3 teams still around. The outside clash needs to come in from Lipovka. They've got some early momentum going on. PANDA now sending in around those open farmland field to the south of Gatka. Execute, of course, been fighting around North Georgia for a while, so they will need to make that rotation in soon as well. NGG's holding that plateau to the north side of farm. And like you mentioned earlier, the school Pachinki area is now getting more crowded as well. Unicorns of Love also got a spot. Very strong squad as they hold down that hill and maybe keeping an eye on Defeaters on the southern side. Bear in mind, Defeaters have lost 2 pretty early.
Yeah, with that zone going up further to the northern side, still keeping in the central area of School and Roshog in play, I am interested to see how the potential fight here between MCES Italia versus QLASH will play out, because QLASH, of course, is 1-2-1 split. They're not really in the position like MCES to really take that fight, and especially with SCRIMFARM potentially being that third party, and even now you see the likes of SPECIALX, we keep them in play, of course, for that fourth party potential to stop these teams rotating round to the northern end. Unfortunately, SPECIALX, they were shooting down onto the side of HARDSHIFT, didn't manage to find a knock, and that will be HARDSHIFT now inside the north end of the circle. The other end is, of course, this central belt here, where we see all of these teams driving in, and it will be NGG, it will be Terra here as well moving in. 202 squad making their way back up north, as we mentioned, with also the 5th party from P.E.N and Unicorns of Love.
Look at this congestion just between these compounds in between Yasnaya and school apartments. Very, very strong positions. A lot of spot to scout as we see NG holding a spot. And that is a lot of teams needing to come into this area, right? Because only if it keeps shifting towards like north, then you need to be somewhat close to this river. If not, you would just get hunt down. Like, a lot of teams are setting, finding a spot around their HARDSHIFT still on that northern part, but MVP is already coming back down. So look at this congestion of teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams in this area that I've been talking about. Unicorns of Love also trying to come in now, maybe scouting the school apartments area.
And it's so congested here, Tarzan, because the fact this entire north side of Wrangell is completely unused, with only maybe a couple players here on the edge of that riverside around North Yasnaya, Roshog area to really take control of the bridges moving in. We do see Lacanostra start to take one onto Exotic Alliance, make that 2 as Andy also falls down here. And that will be decided, I think, Exotic Alliance really having to reshape where they want to go as well. We see SPECIALX taking a knock themselves.
And I'm also keeping an eye on this one. Look at Unicorns of Love. They are thirsty. Ket, very aggressive. I've seen him again and again. They just pushed in. They just crashed into school apartments with Ket just trying to pick up some audio cues, being outside of that building. The overlook is here, and that is Fresh trying to hold some angles, making sure that the side of the captains will get punished the second they peek.
And look at this interesting 2-1 split here. Ked all the way up front, super aggressive, super confident against the side of the captains here. And captains, this 1-1-1 split means they can be potentially firsted out if Unicorns of Love do try to go for that rush. But you see Key Rolo here peeking out in front of that window, stopping the engage from Unicorns of Love as Ked there also moving around the building, trying to find a position in. Look at this flank as well from Ellen, though, going to be key to try take out Ked if he tries moving into this building.
And this is the high tier play. Final move. Look at the teams not waiting any longer to get a spot in the circle. Like back when we do some more community stuff and we are trying to stay on that as well, but we want to be involved in this, and this is the play style. They don't wait, they just want that position advantage. And look at this blue zone is not even touching them yet, and they all found a spot. Like, this is considered like late. I've seen most of them actually found this spot like, I don't know, 2 minutes ago. And look at that. Well, let's come back to school apartments. That is Ked actually trying to go on to the other side. Rolo finding that angle and will flush that straight away. They will turn that fight between themselves and the Unicorns into a 3v3.
And that was what I'm saying with Rolo, that adaptive player trying to peek out with Elendo on the other side to stop the engage. And they pick off one of the members of Unicorn to Love. You now see the Smoke Road potentially going to be coming out to try allow Phoenix and Savage maybe a path towards Fresh here inside of this building, trying to maybe look to take out one. But SPECIALX also on the other side, looking like they're struggling against the side of War Machine. Izumitsu also with Vertex going to be taking out more members of OS as they now fall. There's 3 teams here on this other side, this eastern side, excuse me, of the map.
The other side is now on the other side, not up and down, left and right. They are back to lobby. SPECIALX holds down that push, and that is done with 5 kills though. Although they've lost 1 player, that is still a lot of momentum going in as we are trying to keep an eye on the circle. Every team's found a spot, a lot of congestion in the middle zone like we said, and a lot of spots on the northern side still, but look at that shift. It will go back over to the Rozhok School and Apartments area. A lot of these teams already got those spots, and that is Panda trying to come in from the southwestern side as well. Lost need to move the duo from defeaters, need to do that, as well as the kind of 3-way standoff on that eastern side from SCRIMFARM, MCES, and QLASH.
It'll be interesting to see as well how the side of execute, how HARDSHIFT move into this circle as well from that northern side. Tarzan, you see as now Polyana now out of play, and you see HARDSHIFT particularly now going towards Exotic Alliance, and that could beg the question of that fight along the northern front for space here around the Rozhok area, which keep in mind is still albeit fully in play here. We don't see any teams really apart from Helios if lost inside Rozhok, and it's this core area, this core compound, which is going to be looked to be taken for not only its cover protection, but also the fact that it's on this high ground. But on the other side, we do see NGG losing Ben as Terror wiped them off the map. That will be their scout gone, and NGG, now they have to rethink where they want to go as well.
They have a strong spot. It's just they need to dedicate their focus onto 1 or 2 compound. And with this position, they can control the Yasnaya fields, because look at all these teams still on the eastern side. The 3-way fight. Maybe QLASH is approaching this compound, helped by SPECIALX also around the area. We have SCRIMFARM definitely able to pick up some shots, and that is QLASH pulling up, using this hill to look down onto this compound.
You see, even in the school area here as well, Tarzan, you mentioned all these teams coming together. We now have the likes of also Panda coming through our third party into the school location. We've also seen the side of Unicorns of Love come back together as one team, with the side of the captains taking that 2-1 split instead to try both of these teams gatekeep away the side of Pandas from getting towards that north end of the circle.
And that is very volatile around around Apartments, and that's also the thing, Island Wolf, as the game proceeds, if you just keep fighting around there, you would have no meds, no gear health, and if you've been staying there for so long, there's no way to replenish your resources as well. And that might be not just for the center zone, the side here for SPECIALX and QLASH. If they want to top up those resources, they have to be decisive on this fight, and that will be the enemy crates that they may be able to pick up, trying to rotate around. Is SCRIMFARM right now. Same for the duo from MCES, trying to go for a wide rotation in the clockwise manner, now on the southern side, trying to enter from there.
Yeah, I'm particularly interested to see, as you mentioned, QLASH versus SPECIALX here. You see that ridge being the core protection here for QLASH as they move into this compound as SPECIALX try to control this small series of buildings. Time and time again, we see teams rotate around here for his position towards the center of the map, with School and Rozhok as this core outpost, if you like, towards the center of Erangel. Also keep in mind, in the distance, we do have, of course, SCRIMFARM moving in closer, but it will be HARDSHIFT. Unfortunately, you see him falling on kill feed there. Wonder what they're up to. Is QLASH and SPECIALX here try, contest for a way out as this blue zone closes in.
It's not going to be an easy one as we catch that crazy HARDSHIFT. The HARDSHIFT onto HARDSHIFT themselves. Like we say, didn't mean for that pun. It will give the circle 2-2-0-2. They're playing with a trio. They're still holding strong, but this southeastern HARDSHIFT means all those teams around the school and Roseau area have to pull away. Look at these tier of teams. This is them on that second that the set circle pops. They are moving. Look at Captain still doing holding that school apartments area, but look at Panda already coming in from that southwestern side.
Yeah, will be Panda there, looking to try make their mark, looking to try come into the zone. But I am loving, as you mentioned, the position from 2OT here on this high ground, going to be able to gatekeep the vision on this roadside and also have some protection from behind them because of this hill being such a gradual slope, being so large, if you like, as well. And they've got these buildings as well that they're currently using for protection. But it's not going to be easy to try and keep together. It will be the rest of these teams looking to try contest. And if you look all around the side of 202, we've got potential of SCRIMFARM, we've got QLASH coming in behind them, and we've also potentially got that back door from the side of Panda.
And this is just a lot of teams trying to use their positions for as long as possible to rotate and to punish teams who are rotating. Banger actually missed out on that small opportunity, and that will give them the chance, give the side of HARDSHIFT a chance to head towards this Alamo, and they will just claim it, and that's a wide rotation that works out in their favor. Many teams still need to make a way in. Lost is trying to rotate in from the western side. NGG is split right now. They need to group up. EA still need to find a spot, and that is also MVP trying to rotate through school apartments, and will just clash into the area of control by the captains, and they will need to really pull this off.
As well, Kenny trying to go zoom clash, but doesn't quite make it. Ours as well will be a little bit more lucky, as SPECIALX managed to find one inside the zone. Izumitsu still on the outskirts. Here come QLASH, their own cars coming towards SCRIMFARM. Icy knocks down one. Tarzan now with the side of Hekini trying to take down SCRIMFARM in return. But it will be Icy still up right now. Two different directions. The fire's coming out, but Hekini goes down. And it will just be the 1 versus 1. The grenade does knock down Icy, but SCRIMFARM still in this game.
Living with a sliver of health there, and that is Icy really needing to dodge out on that one. That is a crazy clash between these two teams that is still going on. QLASH is now 2 up. Look at this congestion Highland Wolf. This is the tier of play. Look at those peek and shoot by Icy. And but he may just get pinched between the players of QLASH as we have all that action. Let's get back to MVP because it's getting hot, school apartments.
And around this apartment area, it's been heating up through this entire game, Tarzan. And here is the action where it's starting to unleash. You see Terror diving in for man. Hello! Side of Execute, looking to try take him down. But Execute smash through Terror, and it will be Terror now losing one, losing to Striker, trying to find one. Noshi also goes down, and it will be the side of Execute wiping out that engagement. It's like the only one alive. These team crawling for some sort of redemption. Noshi here trying to be revived. Chills on the other side. Neo Fate should just try finish this one off. 2 on reviving. Neo, wrong timing, my friend, gets taken out. And that will be Fate doing the dirty work to finish off the side of Terror. They will fall down in 14th position, but the action hasn't finished yet. Still, as you mentioned, these 3 teams to get out of this school apartments area. Unicorns of Love, they try and make her escape one way. You see the side of Captors on the other, but behind them, that MVP Gaming squad could be the upset of either of them.
This is going to be so crazy. The time has gone down. That is the blue zone closing. Unicorns of Love, the first team trying to escape from this area, will find the HUD. There is such a strong spot for the circle. They can just gatekeep the other teams, but that's Captain pulling up right now.
That will be Unicorns of Love trying to keep themselves alive versus the captains, but the captains do what Terra could not and dive into Unicorns of Love, take down almost all of them, as Phoenix will be the final member to fall, but to the hands of MVP Gaming. And now MVP also make their move to try and get into this zone as it shifts once again away from the school side towards the eastern end of this map. You see now Duo 2 moving in, NGG, HARDSHIFT as well still alive in this game. There's no team really is inside of this phase.
It's so crazy. I thought the side of Execute will have be under immense pressure and can't come out because their position is so flat, like around that compound. They actually make it out alive. Zeo with the entry spot, the anchorage point established for them, and Rokus is still in this one. NG is trying to sweep them from the side, but he is still going to live, but they don't have a position in the circle yet. Rokus still needs to return to the rest of his team. These teams on the southern side as well. Defeat is down to 2 very early. Will need to breach this line of control by Pandas.
Yeah, you see this side of Defeat is just struggling on the end of this zone, and now with phase 6 coming in 20 seconds, he better find a plan here, Tarzan, to make their way through that downhill section towards the side of Panda and try give them a smacking. In this squad here in control, the smoke road there, the only protection for Muzi and Salazar, but behind him is even more teams congesting here along this hilltop, and you see 202 making their ascent here up above, but it will be captains. They're losing losing potentially almost seconds. Rolo will be eliminated. Elenode 2 as Baru, the only one alive. MVP trying to gatekeep them away. All the meanwhile lost, making their rotation past MCES Italia.
Oh my god, those other rotations, that's the time to strike. You have to time it so right, and that is Lost actually coming out on top. Kid did put a lot of work down before going down himself. Look at Panda just trying to strike all the teams around. That is them finding a brilliant angle onto HARDSHIFT, and that is them using that high ground. They have the numbers advantage, they have the skill, they have the momentum, and they now have certain knocks as well. It's not going to be easy for the rest of this lobby. 5 teams remaining, 15 players.
But they're not in the zone here, Taz, and they need to move downhill, and that's going to be their downfall, because HARDSHIFT 202 lost. All of these players have control of their vision, and without the smokes, without the vehicles, without some sort of solid plan here, a miracle run to get back inside this zone, they're going to struggle. As you see Y127 move down and get knocked down. His first now tries to do as well what teammate could not. Linyi also making a quick, fast, rapid rotation here towards their teammate to keep them alive, and Lost cannot deny the rotation from Pandas. They allow 2 members inside the edge of this zone. Grenades will fall short as well. All the meanwhile, HARDSHIFT in 202. Still with 1 player alive for 202, Mido. Looking to try be that upset.
That is going to be a clash on that eastern side before we get to the next circle. 202, 1 knock right now. Another one going incredibly low. HARDSHIFT needs to be remembering that northern side. That is XT. They're trying to look down. Panda's trying to third party this. They've got a little bit of high ground, not a lot of cover, but they will make it count. That is immense pressure. Sponge, the last one standing for HARDSHIFT, will be needing to land those shots onto Hermes, but that is him just needing to come in now, and that is HARDSHIFT going out at 5th position.
And it will be 202, like we said, with the upset. 4 teams remaining here, as we now only have Pandas, and make that actually now Lost going out of the game, make it 3. Pandas 202. We also have the side of the Execute here as well, but it will be Execute needing to move uphill, and that will be their downfall as well, as they only have now 2 members, but 12 kills in their pockets, looking to try boost that directly up with a chicken dinner. But now you see Pandas, they make that 2-2 split here versus 202. Mido will go down to the knock, They will find the angle around the rock there. Hermes snaking his way to try find a return, but will not be able to. He's a little bit far from his teammate, and Mido might not make it. No, they won't. Hermes will be the only one alive. There's Order, meanwhile, with this battle going on one front, you see the side of Execute. They're losing away. Pandas on the other side. Double kill from Execute. Make it 14 kills now. It's also 202. Make it 15-4. It's now 2-on-2. Pandas versus Execute. Making their way uphill versus the Pandas on the bottom. Phase 8 here, keeping these teams on their toes. Will be Panda moving in with XT in first. Execute, Fate, and Zeo are alive. Just stand off right now. The vehicles are the core thing separating the vision line between Fate and first. XT and Neo barely can't find each other. And it's going to be phase 9, which is going to determine which these teams take it.
Zeo, with the spoiler there, these experienced players know that in this endgame, not only do you need to take away your backpack, etc., but you just need to slowly snake and know how to maneuver around it to get a sweet angle. That is the Zeo showing us how to do it as he spoiled it. This 2v2 is going to be crazy. It's all about reflexes, all about using what you have in the bag still, and that is its fate. Pulling out some utilities first, and we'll put down those smokes to stop the sightlines from Panda.
This is crucial right now as they try and make their way closer inside the zone. You see Fate actually able to utilize the cars with that smoke, allows them to get a little bit higher, and now potentially has the peak potential, stands up for a little second to try find the vision on first, but can't quite just yet. The smoke still blocks him. T and Zeo, one of them are going to spot each other, but it's going to be when that smoke runs out, and it will be Zeo dropping first. T with the faster reflexes. It's going to be Fate 1 versus 2. First, trying to poke his head around to Fate. Can they find it? This grenade's going to go over to... Smoke grenade's going to go over to T, but it's not going to find anyone. T will go down as the smoke clears. Fate finds one. Can Fate find the second on the first? The smoke fires. But the bullets now rain onto first with the smoke. Fate's going to surely run out of bullets soon, but the match goes to the side of Pandas, as Pandas will be able to pick up the chicken dinner despite the fact they had the lower health in that engage. And they pick up those chicken dinner points alongside 10 kills.
Oh my god, that is some experienced player showing us how to play those end zones. Panda, my friends. They still got it. Of course, I just casted them yesterday this year, showing us how to do 10 kills with that chicken dinner. But look at Execute. They lost Shady pretty early. They have 16 kills. I thought they couldn't get out of that compound around the school area, the apartments areas, by the way, and those kill points will really matter. Bear in mind, this is the new point system, guys. It's a 3-point difference between the first and second place. And with them having that amount of kills, that is crazy. That is a chicken dinner itself. And 202 holding pretty strong still. I mean, with a trio taking 3 kills and a third, we have to give them that one. And in fourth place, the other trio actually lost, playing it slow, not challenging those center spots early will get them the 4th position with 1 kill. And I'm just going to be a little bit cheeky and lazy. I will just let Highland Wolf to bring us through the last bits, because he's waiting to talk. I know him, and this is his chance.
HARDSHIFT, they pick up 5th position. Super proud that they're able to do that, showing us that this is a team like we saw in UK and Northern Ireland scrims. Cup, excuse me, a bit more than a scrim. Do manage to keep themselves alive through the zones towards the end of the game, but not able to finish it off still. Need to still work in that. Take up 1 kill, 5th position. It will be MCES Italia with 6th position and 1 kill. It will be NGG in 7th with 5. P.E.N will take 4 kills in 8th position. MVP Gaming in 9th with 1. 10th will be Defeaters with 1 kill. SCRIMFARM 11th with 3. 12th will be QLASH with 5 kills as well. It will be Unicorns of Love in 13th position, 3 kills. Terror in 14th with 1. 15th will be Exotic Alliance with 1 kill as well. 16th position will be decided of
SPECIALX.
SX. Yeah, SPECIALX, thank you. With 4 kills, sorry, excuse me, and that will be OS in 17th position with 1, and bringing up the rear Destiny with 1 kill and 18th.
That is some good action. Such a strong start. Such a good first game of the PEN High Tier event. And scrims, of course, do come back. If you like the organization, like our casting, we will be here every week. And we'll just call it a wrap for Game 1. We're going to go on a short break, and I'll see all of you in Game 2 on the deserts of Miramar. Hey everyone, welcome back to Game 2 of tonight's high tier event. That was an eventful first game with a lot of kills coming from the top two teams. How did you find that, Highland Wolf?
Man, the ending there was so tense between the side of Panda and Exotic, and I'm super hyped to see the rest of these games, particularly now on the battlefield of the Desert Dunes of Miramar here for game number 2, because if it's going to be anything like what we saw at the end of game number 1, oh boy, we're in for a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one from Execute for sure. 16 kills, and we will get our full 18 teams in this one, so that's going to be exciting, and that is a proper practice there. I mean, with a trio that can really disrupt the dynamics of the fight. The numbers advantage can really get to your head when you thought there's when there's 3 left. This actually only 2, but let's not get carried away. By that point, we have this plane path going from Impala through to Trailer Park. That is some new bits there, or should I say ruins. Miramar 2.0 for the win.
Yeah, for sure. And I am loving this plane path because it takes control of both not only Picado Hill and Los Leones, but also El Pozo as well. So we're going to have all of these 3 key central areas going to be in play for these teams. But what I do expect from what we've seen beforehand is teams to maybe try separate a little towards the start, like we saw in game number 1. Maybe see a couple teams contest early on, and it's going to settle down. And if this zone, like we saw in game number 1, starts to centralize, starts to go even one way, particularly, we're going to start to see this congestion of teams, start to see the kills really ramp up.
And that is seeing some congestion over Los Leones already. 3 teams heading towards the Destiny, HARDSHIFT and Captain all heading towards there. And the first teams off the plane as well going to the south side. We have SPECIALX towards Puerto Paraíso, and towards the northern side we have Lost and MCES. The Minas Generalis area is held by NGG and is split by the other side, OS around Hacienda del Patron. Picado dropped from Terra, and to the southwestern side we have Unicorns of Love. They love that Chumacera drop, by the way, Highland Wolf, and that may be where they're heading towards. But look at the congestion, look at El Pozo. Oh my, yeah, let's not wait. Panda 202 all in the area. Who else is there?
Yeah, we see the side of Panda. We see the side, of course, of SCRIMFARM, 202 squad there as well. Clash on the outskirts as well. But what is going to be key is we see actually 202 split here by SCRIMFARM. Hermes has already been knocked down and will likely go out inevitably early on. Panda won't be able to contest, really, apart from Y127, maybe in the outskirts compound, just to get himself a couple bits of loot to start getting himself into the game, because they are also split. They are not currently in El Pozo. They need to try find a little bit of a way into this game. But maybe opting, as you see now, for the side of first, taking taking that vehicle, gonna be able to get mobilized early on in this game and start to move around, try find a position based on where this zone has gone over towards that western side.
And that will be the first knock and kill going over to SCRIMFARM. 202 back to a trio. And but let's not forget about the other side. What the heck was that? I was tripping. That is Defeaters actually going towards Puerto with the side of SPECIALX. And Defeaters actually have a better start this game. They lost 2 very early in Erangel. That is them with 1 kill. SPECIALX down to 3.
Yeah, of course, Defeaters here as well. Going to be on that Puerto Paraíso side, as you mentioned, with the Virtual X and SPECIALX, they're going to be having the slight advantage, I would say, actually, by the side of the fact that Izumitsu can actually flank over the side of Defeaters and going to be that core player to kind of gatekeep them from that roadside and maybe try find a couple kills. But on the other hand, we've still got 2 members of SPECIALX. They're still on the outskirts of the port area of Puerto Paraíso, and that means they're going to also have a little bit of a tricky position if Defeaters try move up towards where they are and try gatekeep them from meeting up towards Izumitsu. But as you mentioned, all of these teams crowded together. We've got the likes of Lost over El Azahar versus MVP and MCES Italia, as well as the likes of Los Leones, don't forget, with these three teams, Destiny, Captains, and also HARDSHIFT, taking their own respective positions there.
And that is that seems to be the teams in Los Leones kind of respecting each other for now, and that is a very, very huge city, so that is completely possible to contain all those teams. They just need to really respect that, know that the resources might be important, not losing players early, very important as well. Let's just not forget this Phase 1 circle actually somewhat basically complements the playing path, so I am actually quite surprised at a lot of the middle areas, especially that Picado Hill around the power grid area. Very, very strong mid-late game, and that is still up for grabs, but there's a lot of teams still outside of the circle, particularly MVP. When that went for the Tierra Bronca and Campo Militar Phase 1, they will have to travel for quite a bit, but that is uncontested loot, and it's not going to be as easy as we think, because the side of NGG is holding Graveyard area, a lot of choke spots there. Also in the area closer to the circle, we have Lost and MCES.
Yeah, and particularly around NGG, he has split around, as you mentioned, the Graveyard area, Minas Gerais, La Bendita, north area of that, and these small compounds off the side of the hilltops there. But I think what we mentioned about, obviously, San Martin Hill being so strong, unfortunately, not going to be. Actually, hang on, here is Defeaters, hold that for. Lose one here, moving towards the side of SPECIALX, and it will be SPECIALX's 1 versus 1 drop as Defeaters now make that 2-1, as they will lose another. Make that 3 as holds a triple for SPECIALX.
Oh my god, Defeaters just need to do better on that one. They have the numbers advantage, but that is a brilliant triple knock. Watson's position is probably known as well, so that is going to be a bit of a tough one. He can probably, with that cover of smoke, go to revive Muzi, but with that distance between the two teams as well, audio cues probably got passed along, and that is SPECIALX still holding on in here. The revive will be completed, but let's not wait any further, because we have continued action in El Pozo.
Pozo going down finally here. These cluster of teams with QLASH and SCRIMFARM here. It's QLASH not losing a single player, but SCRIMFARM, on the other hand, have struggled here, losing 2 members. Spectre and Hackshot knocked down, but not quite out of the game just yet. With Spectre and now Hackshot back up, they need to reset, try find a reposition here, because now they're being left behind in El Pozo, and with this zone centralizing around that power grid area, and all of these teams starting to control the areas around that as well, it's going to be difficult for SCRIMFARM to really find an entrance into this game. And what I wanted to say from the north side with San Martin's side of the hill is that because we've not seen these teams come in, because they've been split dropping in the start of this game, which means without a vehicle, it's so hard for these teams to come back together and take advantage of the early potential of San Martin, because realistically, if this zone does go further south, San Martin's going to be made really quite irrelevant. And as you mentioned, it's more mid to late game rotations advantageous position. It's not really something we're going to be seeing early on, but what we do see right now is a side of another knock-up going down here.
And that is PANDA doing some work in the center position. That is a brilliant knock out of the car. EA getting punished on rotation, but the Linye will get knocked from that distance. EA want to return the favor. And as we were speaking, through all that time, Highland Wolf, 2-2 actually was the team that went out first, and Imperial eventually Defeaters go out to SPECIALX as well. So we're down to 16 teams. We started with 18. Those two teams will have quite some time to talk about it, and they will come back stronger. And as we see on the screen right here, PANDA still holding that area strong, but on that northeastern side, we have Terra looking down from the high hills.
Yeah, the side of Terra, and especially NGG even as well, towards that San Martin area. The other side of the hill is going to be looking to try control MCES Italia, and lost there. It's HARDSHIFT, Hardman once again. I don't know what you're doing, HARDSHIFT, but you're really losing these members towards the vehicle rotations here. Gotta watch yourself when you're driving here. Maybe put on some L plates. But we do see the rotation coming in. A fourth party now is a side of OS move their way towards the fight versus Pandas versus Terra. And with this kind of upset around the location of power grid, means that these teams now have to reposition, now have to try maybe come together. Terra, who are this 1-2-1 split, maybe now can be taken advantage of as we see AD and War Machine moving towards Noshi.
It's going to be very volatile here. It comes down to the reflexes of the players, the absolute awareness of the limits provided by those ridge lines, and that is them repositioning a little bit. I don't disagree with that. I think they know that's not the strongest spot, and they can get pulled up from behind. Look at all the teams still on the northern and northwestern side. Clash and SCRIMFARM are still around El Pozo. Now coming in after looting up La Correria is Execute. They are very strong. They got that second player, 16 kills. They are here to continue through that momentum, and that will be Hartman getting picked up. HARDSHIFT going for a very, very wide rotation on the southern side of the circle. I believe that knock was coming through the red zone, which won't be an issue when they play PMCO.
Yeah, thankfully the red zone going to be cancelled for the PMCO, and it won't have to worry too much about that disaster red zone striking every so often. But we mentioned, of course, SCRIMFARM versus Clash, and I'm loving this 2-2 split by Clash right now. Look at the fact that Trace and Hekony there on one side, and we've got Aza and MC. We're going to expect with that zone now moving towards the central area of the Miramar map, but we're going to see Aza, MC regroup behind Hekony, Trace, and then maybe rotate towards the edge of that zone. Now you see this like kind of outskirt, little bit of a I don't know what you call it, like a little bit of a pinnacle there towards the edge of Monte Nuevo, where the name is, and you see maybe see these teams rotate 2-2 split there and try to cut off SCRIMFARM. But because they're not doing so, because they're being a little bit slow in that idea, they maybe actually allow SCRIMFARM to make it pass through that ridge towards the compound, kind of in the middle of these two hills. I'm trying to explain it here, like Monte Nuevo, and towards the roadside and be able to escape that way.
Yeah, and we do have this second circle, Highland Wolf, that will center over the last one, slightly towards the northeastern side, but that will just be in favor of a lot of these teams that is holding these hill areas around Power Grid, Picado, and Unicorns of Love have rotated away from their favorite spot, Chimicera, but the side of all these teams that was still close to Los Leones. The Captains and Destiny drop around there. They are taking straight rotation towards the center zone. HARDSHIFT, they went for the white one. They will need to rotate further. On the northern side, we have lost. Got some spots in San Martin. It's not really been touched that much, so that is some loot if they want to pick that up. MVP now finally coming in from the northeastern side, but also around that area, sharing the same idea, we have MCES Italia.
But a fight is going to be between Panda and Terra right now. Is Terra, they're going for round 2 engage here. Didn't work around Execute. Hoping it's going to be better against the Pandas. But Pandas coming off that chicken dinner for game number 1. Going to be looking strong to take down Terra once again. Slight almost goes down. Barely being able to escape around the side of this building is first. And XT move them away. For now, it will be Chills in the flank side trying to take control of Y127. Now it's going to be crucial, that 1 versus 1. Whoever gets control will have complete dominance over that entire side. And if Chills is able to take down Y127, it means that the side of Pandas, they're not going to have an ideal escape route round the back door.
And there's such a vital position as well for this 4v3 that is Goldie using the high ground. The rest of his team won't get as much information when they're just in this skirmishes around the compounds. And that will actually be XT finding the cheeky angle onto Chills. That is Terra 3 up right now. The support won't come in easily. Goldie needs to go all the way around if he doesn't want to die from 4 damage. But look at Slyke with that slick angle onto yes, right there. Another knock comes through. XT knocked as well. We are down to 1 for Panda. That is JK the first really GK the First, I should say, very strong player. We've seen him play, and he's trying to pre-fire this with a micro Lucy, but the drop shot coming through from Slight. That is Terra taking the win. Panda, after that game 1 win, will 4-shot on this one, going out at 16th place with 1 kill. Terra with the upper hand, full team up with 4 kills.
And Panda just not able to control the more preserved, more careful approach here by Terra. Not going all in, learning from game number 1, but who are all going in right now is the side of Unicorns of Love versus Exotic Alliance. It's getting a bit exotic inside of his building here as Savage comes around the other side. Grenades go in against Andy, has to reposition. Whitey on the balcony looking to try take one down. Andy pop shot with a grenade, and it will be now 1 down for Exotic Alliance. It's Nightmare, Whitey, now the only 2 here alive. Still Savage X moving in fresh, also coming in for backup. Andy will fall down. Whitey now 1 versus 3 as Fresh makes his way into the building. Nightmare, all he can do, you see, is running for his life. Whitey says, leave me, I will defend him for as long as I can. Survive in this zone.
It's just going to be such a hard one. That is the decisive move there. Don't even know if they have the vehicles to make that move. And the overlook from Cat will serve the purpose as intended. And that is them going there. But look at Captains on the other side. Nightmare will feel the nightmare on the deserts of Miramar. He thought he had the chance. But no, the other side, we have the Captains showing him who's boss. And that is the squad out at 15th place.
Still looking around at this zone as it comes now towards phase 3. Looking strong is NGG here on the side of Picado Hill. It has actually stayed inside the zones here for now. It's going to look to see if it stays inside once again for phase number 3. It will not, which means NGG will not be able to control such a strong mid-game, late-game position as we mentioned earlier. And it will be now up to the likes of Terra over the power grid hill to try contest these teams moving in towards the eastern side. There's a number of teams as well as Unicorns of Love on the south going to have to defend against Captains, against Destiny, making their way up. Even the side of SPECIALX, potential flank from the direct south.
It's so harsh, this circle, Highland Wolf. Because as a western shift and the eastern entry paths are all blocked by hills and etc., they need to really thread that needle. I think a lot of these teams will go for the wide rotations to avoid the hillside. So that is Terra with the position advantage may not be as able to capitalize on that. Look at these teams rotating in already. Unicorns of Love avoiding some sightlines from that high hill held by Terra. They will find a spot in the circle. Look at Captains and the side of Destiny maybe going to clash on the southeastern edge.
You see Destiny here with Namek making their way closer up. Kala on the other side. Grenades now going to be going wide. It will be Namek to 4 as it will be spotted out on the flank side. The smoke's going to try protect them, keep them alive. Baru almost goes down, but does manage to keep himself alive with a first aid kit. And now also keep in mind behind them is MVP Gaming, but it doesn't look like they will go for the fight just yet. Neither will MCES Italia as they drive by in the background. But it will be Captains making their onslaught here with the grenades raining down on top of Destiny. And all they can do is retreat back into the shed here as they try to defend their position, but to no avail. The smoke's blocking all sight of Captains. Now, with their own grenades, they return back to fire, but still, no one goes down.
Look at MCES. They don't have a spot in the circle. There's only 9 seconds until it closes. They're trying to third party, and that is going to be 2 knocks on that. That is Captains trying to make this work.
There it goes. The double knock up on that grenade. The double execute on a second grenade. In MCES Italia all the while is comically moving in the background there, rotating in as this fight continues. Now it's Captains in the retreat as Destiny come up forward, but maybe a bit too aggressive. Jazzy and Khaled go to half health as they come out that smoke screen. But Elenodo for the flag there. It will be Nami and Sleepy. Snips of hell able to take them down.
Nice.
Baru,
Oh my god!
To find the spot drive, and Baru takes down the entire side of Destiny. The 4 versus 1 for captains as they stay alive.
It's actually him knocking too. It's all the third-party pressure, Highland Wolf. MCES has been watching this from that eastern side when they don't have a spot in the circle. Also, MVP from the high ground on the northern side watching this. That is captains. Just tunnel visioning onto, not captains, I'm sorry, that's Destiny tunnel visioning onto captains there. Baru will need to thank MCS and MVP for that, but he's down to 1, but he has to be very happy with that. They've don't have the numbers advantage and them still in here in the game, but not having a spot in the circle as we see Terra trying to expand the area of control. We will have the next circle pop very soon, and it will. Island Wolf, go over to Terra.
Terra will be in control alongside Lost of his hillside. But here comes MCES ITALIA making their way, making their stomp onto the mountainside versus Noshi and Goldie. Here are going to be the 2 defenders versus the 4 of MCES. Also, MVP don't manage to find anyone on NGG either, but NGG do find one onto MVP. Kid going to go down, and that's going to stop them rotating into that zone if they try pick Kid up, and it's going to deny them the time that they need to try survive because his clock is ticking 1 minute to phase 5. Then it's really going to start to ramp up the pressure, ramp up the speed. Captains Baru, all the meanwhile just holding on for as long as he can as solo player on the edge. We're going to also keep an eye potentially here on that western side here, Tarzan. Keep in mind HARDSHIFT are still alive. You mentioned that hard flank by these teams, and they are looking to come in from behind Unicorns of Love potentially.
But it's so hard to get in so much open ground, and that is the tricky part of this circle. All these teams trying to come through from the northeastern side as well. We see Execute needing to enter, that is OS needing to enter as well. But that is so congested, the hills are already claimed. I really want to see how they play this, but as we speak, that is Unicorns of Love finding some angle onto HARDSHIFT will not make it easy for them to rotate out of here.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do lose one. The vehicles start going to be driving around maybe another side, looking for another entrance. But Clash controlling over the Monte Nuevo side hills alongside that roadside is also SCRIMFARM try to make their way inside along that western front. But all the congestion happening right now is also decided Clash find 2 knockups right now onto SCRIMFARM. We mentioned those kills going over from SCRIMFARM in rotation. They get caught by Clash finally after those 2 teams meet up. Later now, 21 minutes, 22 minutes into the game, it goes over to the side of Clash. Terra still in control of his hilltop as NGG on one side up above. MVP and MCES going to fight it out in the bottom.
I'm going to keep an eye on to Execute here. They didn't have a spot in the circle yet. They've got teams left, right, and center. That is them needing to come in after having some trouble for the side of OS. That is Execute with some breathing room. Shady's trying to pull like further in. He almost got a spot in the circle, and that's them now lending some shots onto OS. War Machine may just go down to the zone after getting those headshots through. Execute is here to win a second game. It's not going to be easy, but they're here to prove themselves.
They need to get outside the blue zone for now, though, because War Machine will definitely go down. There's no protecting him. HARDSHIFT also going to suffer at the hands of Clash as they pick them apart from the edge. Is out the zone now, phase 5 centers even more around the south side of the power grid's hill towards Terra. But Execute, they need to make their way down for a number of teams here. Lost on the other side, it will be that 3 versus 4 situation for Execute, but it is the low ground disadvantage against him. Lost, Squatch, and Helios trying to gatekeep them out. Potential grenades going to be starting to fly down.
And that is also HARDSHIFT. Feeling the HARDSHIFT, not just that, the pressure from all the teams around as well. That southern entry. Entry point is very hard to establish, but good for them though. For Sponge, the last one standing is this fact that Clash is pulling away, and they will get to this compound where Panda tried to hold down earlier, and Terra still in that position. Look at them, full team up 7 kills right now, capitalizing with what the landscape of Miramar is giving them right now. Also need to rotate, though, is Unicorns of Love. They don't have a spot. They have some kills right now, 3 kills, but 70 meters to travel in this type of landscape. Harder than most people think, Highland Wolf.
Yeah, and as well, you see just that proven by the side of NGG's rotation here. They almost lose 2 members. The side of MCES ITALIA actually make that a double, as they will now fall down. They lose 1 member completely, make that 2 as well as Banger and the side of Bimba, the only ones here alive in that rotation. Goldie gonna just snipe them from above if MCES don't take them from the front. There's no way really up above that mountaintop, and it means that they're really in a tricky position to try climb onto the mountain as it shifts against them, as it shifts around the other side.
Oh my god, Zeo found the spot. It was such a bold rotation by the side of Execute, but they made it in. They found it brilliant. The only dip that can make it work. They land some shots onto Clash, and Clash is having trouble because behind them we've got another team pulling up. That is OS in the area. 1 knock right now for them. Second knock coming through. It's the last one. The last one sending is Axa, and that is him trying to rotate around, and that is Clash holding this down for now, but I spoke too soon. OS still in here. Rusty 67 is not Rusty with his gun. That is him living this one, and there's only 7 teams remaining in this Execute. I thought they are going to be choked, but they have a spot in the circle, very, very close to it, and with that momentum as well for 4 team up right now for them.
Yeah, they've got a slight dip towards the edge of that mountain, which protects them against the side Unicorns of Love, and also SCRIMFARM Icy, who are on this open ground, realistically not going to be able to get it in. They're too late on their rotation, unfortunately, I do believe. But what is in favor of the side of these teams is actually Terra in their high ground. They are just going to be able to pick apart these teams, and watch them pick apart themselves. Is unfortunately Slyking show you why you don't go down to the bottom of the mountainside. They both fall down. And Noshi and Goldie going to be only ones up above to try defend their position, as MCES also start to hug the wall sides of the cliff.
I respect that, Highland. I respect that, because if they are all on that cliff side and it shifts away from them, they may not have an entry spot from the side without taking receiving blue damage, right? So that is them trying their luck, but that will not work out for them. Also trying their luck to rotate in. Rusty 67 will go out at 7th place for the other side. See you on the other side, buddy. Unicorns of Love also having trouble. We are down to 6 teams right now. Some of them are definitely playing the healing game. Phoenix and Icy both outside of circle, so essentially just 4 teams in here, unless they have the most first aids in the world. Icy! Bye. And
Icy not able to.
will outlive him is Phoenix from Unicorns of Love, and that is Goldie still in there, but they look at that. That control, I said, I respect the rotation down that hillside to split the bets, because if they don't have the circle now, like now, they will just lose so much health trying to drop down. But that is not until they got 14 kills in this Miramar game. Highland Wolf is going to be a crazy one. But like I said, it's going to shift away from all these teams, essentially. And this is for them to use this landscape. But Execute, I will put my money on them, because they have some dips. That is enough for this endgame, I believe.
And you see, actually, this zone phase 7 is centralized off of the cliff, as you mentioned. It's going to be on this main road line here. And MCES trying to take advantage of it alongside SPECIALX. And that one rock in the edge, but it will be the grenade going onto Sijan. Does manage to survive. A sliver of health keeping him alive. Doesn't directly hit on top of him. And it will be Execute not finding the knock just yet. The smoke road is crazy right now. As well as Goldie and Noshi. All the meanwhile are going to play upset right now. It's Goldie takes down 2 members with the help of the pressure from Execute on the other side, and now they lose to MCS falling apart right now. Is Execute
Oh my
diving a
God.
little bit closer, a little bit deeper. Terra on the meanwhile, desperately trying to hang on. They gotta drop, they gotta try to survive as long as they can. Goldie falls down to his death,
my
drops
God.
down as well as Goldie's just gonna be fish food for Execute. And it will be them going to win the first game. SPECIALX also fall down on the flag side.
Oh my God, that is the type of circle. Everyone's trying to move in with the blue, and that is also very understandable. If you go into open first, you're the first one to go down, and that is Terra. Speaking for the name, oh my God, 17 kills. The circle's given to them, and sometimes you don't always farm those skills, guys. You don't know when to group up properly, etc. But that is them using it to the maximum. That is a lot of points. 29 points in one game. That is crazy, Highland Wolf.
Yeah, they keep themselves alive on top of that cliffside. They allow the side, with the help of that double knock from Goldie, the side of Execute, the side of Special Effect, Special Exit, to actually take down each other and just keep themselves in the game as long as possible. You see, even at the end, the side of Terra, no, she just dropping down to be a distraction for Goldie to survive as long as he can, with MCES, all the meanwhile falling down. They do be able to snipe up that second position with a course, as you mentioned, that ridiculous amount of kills. Goldie on 9 kills with 4-1, make out 5-14 with 17 kills in total, with Noshi there on 3 in second position. We got third place there with MCES, as we say, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kills going to be in total for them. Fourth place going to be a SPECIALX with 5 kills there. And it will be in fifth position, Unicorns of Love, 4 kills. Sixth position going to be SCRIMFARM, 5 kills. Seventh going to be the other side with 2 kills. Eighth position going to be Clash with 4. Ninth going to be Lost with 0. Take it through to the rest.
And that is unfortunately HARDSHIFT, feeling the pain of the HARDSHIFT. You know, sometimes you name your fate, and might be the time to think otherwise. But we do know these guys very well. I wanted them to do better, but they would take this 10th place with no kill. NGG unfortunately going down at 11th place with 1 kill. In 12th place, MVP playing the slow rotation so far, playing Edge, but it's just so hard to breach that hillside, Highland Wolf. That will be them taking that 12th place with 1 kill. In 13th place, we have the captains with 3 kills. Destiny with the 14th place finish with 2 kills. And EA with no kills at 15th place. Last but not least, no, okay, I'm tripping. 16th place, I'm not done yet, guys, I'm sorry. And that is PANDA with 1 kill. 17th place, we have Defeaters, who got defeated on the bottom right of the map around Puerto. That is not before they got 1 kill for themselves, but last but not least, finally, is the 2-2 squad getting their 4th player after playing trio last game. Will unfortunately go down at last place with no kills, going down to those contested drops in El Pozo. And that is a wrap for our game 2. We've got 2 more to go, guys, and do stay around as we go on a short break. I'll see you all in the jungle of Sanhok. And welcome back, everyone. Game 3 of the high tier events. Highland Wolf, execute. So strong.
Yeah.
One second place with so many kills, the other one with a good amount of frags as well, and a win. That is them maybe taking that 60 quid away from us, and that is how we say it, guys. We say 60 quid in the UK. That's how we come up with all these slangs. I don't even know why. Yeah, 60 quid to the pockets maybe, but there's 2 more games to go. We have, once again, I really appreciate it for these teams to turn up. Like 4 teams for 18 squads. Not easy to find this caliber of player in the lobby like tonight.
No, definitely have to echo that. Amazing caliber of not just 18 teams, but the fact of the quality of these teams as well, the inequality of these games, which we've been seeing as we head over onto Sandhawk now, the jungle for our 3rd game. And it's going to be a rumble for sure as we see that playing path go from the north end over towards the side of the dock straight to the south. And now it's going to be an interesting one here once again, because it means that these teams have open kind of areas of this map. that we've actually got the northern side, we've got the main belt of the island, but actually what we don't have is maybe the ruins, the side of Tanbank, Nakim Sami. So these teams that like to come out from the edge towards the inside, they're going to have a little bit of a rethink of where they want to go.
But that's also the matter of fact for Sanhok is the smallest map, smallest competitive map, 4km times 4km. With that playing path, it actually will still allow a lot of these teams heading towards that southwestern island. And I know Unicorns of Love love going to Tambang and Ruins area. What I also know is the side of SCRIMFARM liking to go to Cow, and that is actually going to be a contested drop between themselves and HARDSHIFT. Look at these teams trying to get a lot of these drops locations, a lot of early clash potentially, and that is going to be some crazy action in Camp Bravo as well. Panda has dropped there through my past week of casting them, and then they're here to continue to ruin the dream of defeaters. Another rough start for them.
You see also the zone here. It's going to be about 40%, maybe 35% in the water here with the river and that north side. Defeaters will trade against the side of XM here. Is now Linear will also fall down. And Defeaters, they're going to have a tricky position here starting off as we see them on that eastern side versus the enemy's Camp Bravo. But on the other side, SCRIMFARM, HARDSHIFT, Hardman going to lose his life and now needs to be revived by Spongy as Icy looks to try finish off the work that he's begun with Unique.
That is such a sad one. Contested drop in Camp Bravo. The teams need to be prepared for teams dropping around them. They need to come up with the tactics accordingly. Sad one for Defeaters going out as the first team, but HARDSHIFT here might be the second. That is the double knock onto them, and that is Spectre trying to challenge it from the side, but Lotus held that position well. That will be a trade. One kill going to the side of HARDSHIFT, but they need to hold this down further. SCRIMFARM on the other side, Icy and Unique is trying to finish what they started, like you said.
Well, Icy's looking to put down some heat right now as Lotus almost gets taken down as well. But Icy now on that balcony looking to try find a third. As Unique finishes off the two inside, Lotus will finish be taken down by Unique. Now Icy and Lotus Unique make their way towards Spartan here. Spartan will be finished off. And with that clean, as you say, squad wipe against HARDSHIFT in 17th position. SCRIMFARM lose nothing.
Whew, two crazy team fights already, guys. And with this northern first circle, these teams will need to find a spot in MVPs in P.E.N, captains in Sami. 2-2 split, actually. Chem, Charlie, and Sami. And they will be very much looted up for that one. And also interesting coming into this phase 1 circle is the congestion on the northwestern island. In Hartin, we have MCES. On that top left corner there, we have the other side on that edge. This out of Execute will lose up Cam, Alpha, but Terra on that island as well, but more on the eastern side. Unicorns of Love and Execute, two very strong teams in tonight's lobby. They may clash around this Ruins Bridge area as Ket and Fresh cross this bridge. Right on top, a lot of teams are a bit reserved on when it comes to going on top of the bridge, may opt in for a swim, but they would just go for it anyway. Ket, we know how aggressive he can be, and that is exactly what they're doing. And also, let's not forget the side of a clash in Kampong and NGG in Docks. Quite some rotations for them to make, and let's see how they do it. The side of all that quarry area has been untouched so far. Ooh,
yeah, you saw also 202 squad making their way towards SCRIMFARM after hearing the shots, after looking at the kill feed, but unfortunately to no avail. SCRIMFARM Unique takes down one of 202, flushes them down, makes it a now 3-on-3 situation for themselves. 202 will find Unique though in return, and that one's going to now put them at a disadvantage as Hammies and Faven now going to move their way towards the rest of this team as Icy Naya. Nicey will go down as it will be Fanvin taking down a second in Hermes, and Bongmins now also needs to join the fight to support their team to finish off Naya.
And that is so hard. Like, to rotate out of count itself is very, very hard. And that is Naya needing to hold this down. Using a little bit of the parkour action there, he will try to find a side angle. But Savan is here to push. And Hermes is here in the area as well. Ballman's also coming in. Unique too far out. They will want to pinch this. Look at the nade! Look at the beautiful nade! Oh
you don't
my
see stuff
God.
like that on FPP scrims.
In our scrims, let's not even mention them anymore. This is another story, Highland Wolf. This is completely different. And look at these teams with the proactiveness in the circle. The blue zone is coming in, though. Captains need to rotate NGGs as well. And Panda around Lakawi area right now. Clash may go into the area and clash with them. But in the middle zone as well, EA on top of SPECIALX.
Yeah, SPECIALX controlling the center are going to be a hotly contested location either way, of course, particularly to the south of Paradise Resort is a tri-skirmish here. SPECIALX still 4-man. Also, so is the side of Exotic Alliance. They're going to come together. There's a team as Beg for Mercy has been knocked down. A grenade's going to go above the head of Whitey, going to miss. Now a grenade also misses onto SPECIALX. We see Kenny on this flank side looking to try take down Deadly, and Andy does find one. Deadly will pull down and be flushed out, but not before Andy finds the return knockup and first onto Kenny. But on the backside, more action as Andy comes round to fight, and also now Arj is the only one alive. 1-for-1 for Andy as Whitey also behind him, nowhere to run, jumps down behind the rock to some cover. Can he find Whitey? The health advantage is there, trying to peek around a tree. Arch will just be taken down by Andy from above, and that will be the Exotic Alliance keeping themselves alive for now. They did lose one, but they get the squad wipe in return.
Oh my God. I think that little bit of high ground advantage that allow them to rotate around and to reposition in those small skirmishes. But look at that. Look at the north. Look at that Harton Bridge area. Lost is there to stop some rotations. OS already got a spot, already crossed. Terra in a very strong compound to stop some of these rotations. Come in. MCES also in the area. And on the other side, Unicorns can pinch them. MCES losing Xinye on that one. Another knock comes through. Oh my God, they might be just pinched right here, Highland Wolf.
MCES, they cross over the water. They didn't get taken down there, but because the zone has shifted further, I contest against. As you see also on the other side, on that eastern flank, the teams of NGG Clash trying to rotate up, but all the while Lost, they take down another, as well as MCES take down one onto other side as they will finish the work there. Other side now just down to 3 members, need to regroup because they're currently split in an open field.
And that is going to be some crazy action there. I think MCS just needs to know the absolute limit on that coastline. And the Unicorns of Love will maybe face the push coming in from Execute. They're still on that side of the island. And but of course, right here, Clash will need to get out of the area. NGG is in here. Destiny has a little bit of a high ground to look down from that as well. This eastern side is not going to be quiet at all, Highland Wolf.
Yeah, and you see the Unicorns of Love trying to cross that second bridge, but here comes Execute in their car, going boom, boom. A 3-man to try take down the 3 on the bridge. And Savage, Fresh, and the side of Phoenix will need to dash across as fast as they can. You see one jump off the bridge, trying to now find a position underneath, swimming to try look to keep themselves alive in this game. Ked also on the other side, but Clash and NGG, we mentioned them before. Clash will be wiped out, sandwiched between the side of Destiny, but it's not done yet. It's now Destiny closing in against the side of a damaged and brutalized now NGG. They lose one right now as Bimba trying to be revived. Is the side of Sleepy making the flank. And the rest of their team just gonna keep away NGG. Ben nowhere in this fight needs to come together for his team is now they will find the flush.
That's a pretty sweet angle. Very bold as well. They need to have so much confidence that the southern side is open, but that is his position now known by NGG, Banger, and Ben. They all just need to make it out of there. That cliffside is no longer safe as we have that circle shift towards Paradise Resort, the one and only, already in tap block. in position to start a lot of those rotations is 202. Lost is in position. Look at all those congestion of teams around that bridge still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams around there. Let's not wait any further. I will jump to fresh, and that is Unicorns of Love almost making the full cross. 50 seconds to go. They will need to go a lot further. This is going to be a bloodbath.
You see, it's such a difficult rotation for the side of Unicorns of Love because they've also got to get Care across that bridge. And with Execute, they actually do relieve some pressure, moving down towards the south end. Gonna try crossover to that central island. You see Faye just driving into the water to try provide some distance, try and get into the other side to where Paradise Resort is as quick as possible. Gonna try use the time, but actually Unicorns of Love are buying them versus Lost to try and make that as a distraction to try getting behind them and across the other side. But you see Helios Squash also going to turn their head around. And you see also NGG taking more kills versus the side of Destiny. Their engagement didn't go so hot. And NGG keep himself alive. Now only Sleepy will be the one for Destiny trying to defend away NGG from rotating closer into this game. As you see Lost here, going to be such a core position for him to hold right now on the edge of the zone, but between two teams, Unicorns of Love, you've got to Execute that can come behind them if they're allowed the time to rotate to the other side of the island.
It's going to be so hard. The Blue Zone's already closing. These teams are still on the outside. Lost can farm a lot of kills here. But let's not forget they also need to bear in mind that position they're holding, although with the high ground, they are not quite center, so they need to time that rotation well. Unicorns now swimming one step ahead of Execute. Maybe Fresh and its fate pretty close to that island, but it's not going to be easy with Lost looking down that way. OS is trying to flank around, will enter from the northern side, but Terra may just take this fight with MCES.
MCES is going to be a heck of a show and a stand side on mine here, but he does find the double, and now he's half health, but jumps over the wall with Terra, and that will be Noshi finishing off the work for Terra. They will not get taken out, but with the blue zone, keep in mind, MCES might have done enough to stop Terra really advancing into its later stage of the game, because now we're on this phase 4, going to be rotating in the next 13 seconds. The zone is going to then pop once again. If it keeps going away from them, they're in trouble. Is also Panda takes down 2 on MVP. Looking on the other side of that eastern flank, MVP gonna also struggle to make it inside the zone as they're caught in the blue zone. Panda make a run for it because they know also they need to get into the center.
MVP has been showing so much tendency, like such a strong tendency to opt in to play edge, and it's not been working out for them. Like this type of rotations and this type of map as well, so I know you have to play very, very quick. That is them just getting choked. I know they've been looting up so much, but now GK the First can just so single-handedly single-handedly hold them out there as we have the next rotation. That shift going over to the western side of Paradise, and it will not be in favor of these teams. Obviously, the side of Paradise Resort being open, Captain has an entry point on the southern side, but this western part will not be quiet for any longer. They've been swimming, they've been trying, but this is a time that they need to rotate out as well because they don't have the circle.
This is such a tricky position if the side have lost. They've actually backed off and allowed the side of Unicorns of Love to now engage onto the other side of the land. Also actually allowed Execute a way in, and Master has to now retreat as well because you see the full squad of Terror still alive here, moving their way down from the northern side. And with now this split, they're going to actually regroup to Master and actually completely avoid all the fighting as much as possible. Maybe try find a flank through these compounds, but look at this side of Exotic Alliance as they try take down captains moving in from the south, and it will be on the opposite end of this zone where the action will be happening. Beg for Mercy has been knocked down, but also on the side of captains, you see Lalani has been knocked down as well, and it will be a rush to see who will be revived first. Lalani will be up first for the 4 versus 3 advantage. You see Rolo also trying to snipe down Beg for Mercy and White Teeth on the flank side.
That is going to be such a hard one to get out of. They have to make it to this big rocks here. With that position, they can maybe take some fights, but let's not wait because Execute is fighting. They are on the other side trying to hold that down against the Unicorns.
Yeah, Unicorns there now lose members in the side of Execute are engaging on top of them, but on the other side, once again, is the action of both sides here. Tarzan, we see that that's where the squads are. We see Destiny, we see NGT, MVP, 202 squads. We also see the side of the other side coming into the zone with War Machine there. Terra on the north going to be a brutal gatekeeper if they can get to that compound just south of them and try gatekeep both NGG and 202 from engaging into the zone.
That congestion around Paradise Resort, so much hard cover, it might be in their favor. 202 trying to stop this rotation. There's a brilliant knock by Saivan onto Hisk there. NGG not having an easy one. They have 6 kills though, and they can definitely use that as they try to hold these players from OS out of the circle. They need to be very careful of what's happening on the other side. 202 is here to strike.
MVP also likely going to pick up the last remaining player of Destiny as they shroud around Sleepy. Is going to have to take a nap inside of the zone, but right now also Eastern Lions are trying to look for a way perhaps in, but it will be just north of them as well. But 202 snipe down one onto the other side. They will also control that area, but keep in mind, yeah, the circle here as well has gone away from all of these teams, which means they have to rotate in quickly. In fighting on this Paradise Resort side with this zone coming in isn't wise, because despite the fact MVP get all these kills, they still need to find a way inside of the late stage of this game.
It's a run and gun situation on the eastern side. Look at MVP now in the blue. Destiny Sleepy need to wake up right now. 202 running for their life. EA will get an entry spot. Same for the captain. So it's going to be a crazy one. It's not by no means easy. So much open space as well. And look at Terra trying to tear teams down. We know what they could do just from Miramar there. He's still got 3 up alongside 8 other teams and 2 kills right now. They get a good spot. There's a very sweet spot with those hard covers. But that is them facing 202, and that's them stopping them as well. Slyke with the slick play, and he will play spoiler right here, right then.
Yeah, with the help of MVP, just obliterate 202's squad, but lost, keep in mind all the while, despite losing 2 members of their rotation, they have still kept themselves alive, still in the zone in phase 6 as Unicorns are loved. Ked is the only one really there to stop them, as Savage will be first down by the side of Execute. And now we see Execute needs to make their way north, Captors need to make their way north, as well as Exotic Alliance, because Terra, they're going to be realistically the ones with the advantage right now to play upset against Lost, as Ked will also find one, and he Execute flush onto Lost, just down to Helios right now in his little shack, trying to defend off the terror of all of these players coming into zone.
And that little play by Ked will just get him top 3 maybe. He's got the cover, he's got the zone. Look at EA all just
take Samorski.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Just disgusting position from Ked right now to play spoiler onto all of these teams looking to try come in from the south end. Has the window ability just to snipe down. Fate almost goes down, but does find one with the help of the blue zone onto and might get a second. Ked is just deleting players from that south then. Exotic Alliance just down to Andy right now as that zone does shift away. Maybe some respite for Exotic Alliance and Terra as it does move away from the buildings. Helios and Ked, they're going to have to try team up with Exotic Alliance, maybe to take down still the 3-man powerhouse. It is Terra.
There's a 3v1v1v1. Oh my god. This should be Terra's game, but it's not an easy part of the map to get through. They have a little bit of ridgeline as they try to create that smoke path. They will come in and Andy will be there waiting. But the south, Unicorns of Love, Ked and Helios can still deal incredible damages across those fields there. Those smokes are so important as they make it through. It's going to close right now the circle, and that will be complete control from Terra because they will kill Andy as well. 3v1v1.
And you see the position right now. They've got a beautiful rock there protecting Slyke and Chills. And with the smoke screen there, the Noshi will allow the time for them to rotate through. Ked and Eagles are going to take that 1 versus 1. Ked will be successful, but Sliver of Health will keep him alive. The zone will surely chew him up, and it will be Terra taking down the 3rd chicken dinner of tonight.
Ked just did exactly what he had to there with him playing solo. Like, that is him just showing what he can do. Like, so many placement points gained just by his awareness. The time aggression there will be them taking a strong game, like a strongest game so far from the Unicorns with the 5 kills at 2nd place. But let's not forget about Terra. Mate, 1 2nd place with so many kills. This is a chicken dinner with 7 kills, and that is them going up for tonight's leaderboards, and they may be able to take that 60 quid away from us. And in 3rd place, Lost, showing up a little bit, 3 kills in the 3rd position. Exotic Alliance with 7 kills in the 4th position, very strong there. Execute, although it's not as strong as games 1 and 2, they will still come into top 5 with 3 kills, almost hitting that 10 mark per game, 10 points per game mark, I should say, and they can still be in the run for that 60 quid. And in 6th place, we have the Captains with no kills, 202. Will get 7 kills and went down at 7th place. Very hard to escape that area. Very hard to say I can confidently rotate without getting punished. So that is them going down inside out at 7th. At 8th place, we have Destiny with 3 kills. And at 9th place, we have MVP doing slightly better than before, but they will need to do a bit more. 9th place and 3 kills. And this is me leaving for the rest to Highland Wolf.
Yeah, 10th place. This is where the Eastern battle happened. The other side here in 10th with 3 kills. 11th NGG with 6, 7, 8 kills. It will be decided. PANDA's in 12th position with 5, moving down from their dominant positions in the first 2 games. MCES Italia will be in 1 kill in 13th. Clash in 14th with 0 kills. 15th will be the side of SPECIALX with 1 kill as well. 16th will be SCRIMFARM with 5. 17th will be HARDSHIFT with 1. And 18th Defeaters with 1 kill.
And that's it, guys. 1 more games, then we will find out who's the kings for tonight. Just the prime time to do it as well, the night before PMCO starts. And this is it. And yes, we'll go on that short break. I'll see you all back onto Erangel for Game 4. And hey, welcome back. The Sunday night is PEN Prodigy Esports Nation. We have the high tier event tonight. We are down to the last game. How are you feeling, Highland Wolf?
I am feeling super stoked. And my eyes are on 3 teams right now, Tarzan. We're on PANDA, who won game number 1, of course, in a wrangle. They're on Execute and on Terra. Because these 3 teams, despite, if we just forget the fact that PANDA came like 11th or whatever in the 3rd game, these 3 teams have been epic so far to watch. They've been consistent in their high positions, and I don't expect them to be dropping too early on in this final game either.
With this playing path as well, from Primos to Ostalba, I can't see a more merciful playing path, especially when I don't see any of these teams liking to go towards Novo in particular. So that will be them needing to find their way around. Planning the phase 1 circle, of course, that would dictate the pace of the game. Some of these teams like going towards North Georgia Pool. We see some clash in that game 1 as well. Execute is in there and taking that win. I wonder, where are they going to go in this, as we have some teams dropping? PANDA going back to the favorite spot in Primosk.
And I expect to see teams holding on this playing path towards the Schoolgirls Hokkaido area, like we saw in game number 1. But what has changed, because this playing path favors actually Sivnovka this time, is a couple of these teams going to the South Island, like MVP, like Terra, we see going down to the south on the Astral Island, but onto the south shores around the quarry area, we actually see a bit of a change up with Lost and PANDA going to Primorsk.
And 202, no contest in Pachinki. Unicorns of Love like the Gatka Fields, they will take that one with no problem. Look at the crazy amount of teams heading towards the Shelter Milter area. Some farm drops may be coming through. I would like to see that one. And let's go round to Yasnaya as well, as we have SPECIALX and EA heading towards there. HARDSHIFT, like Saverni, right? And they will go there, but another good squad is heading towards there. That is the other side, and we will have this phase 1 circle on that main island mostly. And the first knock coming through, that congestion on the eastern side is happening right now.
SCRIMFARM take down one of QLASH to begin with, but SCRIMFARM are split, and this means that they're going to take down not only QLASH, but they've also got to take down Destiny here in their way. Icy will have to pull off some miracle between the 2 teams here, 2 on Destiny, with 1 on Trazen for QLASH here. Going to try regroup. It's going to be also a 1v1 for Naya versus, will be decided, I do believe, on Namek. Actually, no, it would be, it would be Khaled here with versus Naya, and it would be Naya up above Khaled right now. But Khaled
1v1 with the pump
position.
Absolutely nothing except a pump and the grenade. Naya can still take this, but the support is now coming in maybe, and that is just Hackshot in here trying to support this. Naya bought enough time. So many teams around Shelter. This is going to be something new. I haven't seen that in quite a while.
Yeah, Kala almost goes down to grenade there. Luckily, didn't go back to where they were standing just quick enough, or decided not to be taken by SCRIMFARM. Icy still in a bad position, of course, has to try to defend. Icy will find one onto Namek. That will be Destiny losing one inside the Shelter area. And now it will be Icy trying to flush down that kill that they have earned. And it will go the way of Icy. Icy and the side of SCRIMFARM now up to 2 kills already, showing a strong performance to begin with. Hackshot looking to take down Khaled. The grenade's going to go over. Will it find Khaled on its target? It will not just now. Khaled is going to try pre-fire. Doesn't quite find Hackshot. Hackshot now going to have to regroup here as Khaled moves around the building. Now inside, looking to try to take advantage of where SCRIMFARM just were.
SCRIMFARM knows there's a solo here. This is them trying to play this tactical, and that is just the textbook play to pinch this one, and that will be the finish. SCRIMFARM has 3 kills right now, and that is Icy trying to hold down Shelter against 2 other solos by himself. This is a lot of information coming into the next week's PMCO. This is the area they need to study and control. Let's look at the other sides of the map. Captains is going towards Milter Factory. Of course, Clash with the big split, and the Axa has absolutely nothing. We saw him crouching in that shack right there before, and now in Milta we have NGG and sharing the military island. In that main military base area we have Terra, and MVP will just try to loot up these split compounds around that island. Unicorns of Love already making that rotation. This is textbook. This is what these teams are showing us what they can do. The proactiveness is key, and MCES off to the northeastern side as well. SPECIALX with a bit of a split, but look at this 3-way is still happening, and we have these 3 solos, I should say, down to 2, but the rest of SCRIMFARM is here to join the party as they try to find that last player. That is going to be Clash. Tarzan, good luck, buddy. You will need this. Yeah. But this is also, if they can pinpoint where his location is, God, I want those ears. I will ask SCRIMFARM, what do you eat for your breakfast, every meal of the day, what time they sleep, what song their mother sing to them when they sleep, when they are young. And here comes Naya. Very, very safe though, knowing that there's a player potentially on that other side, and that is the discipline that they need as they hold that down. Rozok and Hill, untouched, very populated area towards the mid-late game. Now game 1, so let's see who will pick that up. PANDA likes to rotate a bit slow, and that is them still looting up pretty much looks small, but a lot of loot for them to grab. And that will be it, just still waiting for Naya to strike, and Hackshot maybe having a different idea. Ooh, very sweet maneuver. They're trying to bait some shots out from Tarzan, and Naya will still hold that spot. Don't know how long is this going to last. They do have a spot in the circle, and that will be it. Execute. After all, I think they are ranked 1 right now. I'm just going to put my money on it. If I have £100, 100 quid, right, in my pocket, I will put 99 in there. The last pound, I will leave it to call my mum for help if I lose it all. But I think I'm going to be a very rich man.
I think you might just be right here. And an interesting split. I'm actually wondering if Kenny just fell a little bit of a sleep onto the plane, because you actually see SPECIALX are very split right now. Kenny is in the Stalber Mountain, and now comes Tarzan with the shots, holds it in the sewers here, but to hold off all 4 members of SCRIMFARM will be almost impossible. Here comes the flank to the side, and Tarzan will down and be eliminated out of this game, just down to 2 members of Clash, Aza and MC remaining. They have actually regrouped here, and they will be able to move into the center of this zone. And I'm actually surprised that both Roshok, School, and Potato Hill actually, in fact, are locations that haven't been picked up by teams so far, despite the fact that particularly Roshok being in the center, even just hanging around the edge of it, waiting for teams maybe for vision, might be a smarter idea.
And to be fair, it's a bit of a scary type of circle. I know it looks like it complements the playing path. Very merciful playing path with a center circle, but that also means that you have to rely on your scouting. You need to play like there's enemies everywhere, and you can't just like barge in knowing there's an absolute quiet side of the map. But we see NGG here pulling away from Milta, and they may approach those areas that we're talking about, Highland Wolf. And the SCRIMFARM, obviously very clean one, trying to controlling the fights in different skirmishes around different parts of that area of the map will be them taking 4 kills. I want to see them do good, mate. I really do. They are a very strong squad historically, with a new roster as well. I hope they will do well, and good luck to all these teams. This game is going to be crazy.
I'm really glad that NGG rotating out of the trap that is Milta if it does go towards a northern circle for phase number 2. I think being adaptive is what these teams need to be. And as you mentioned, it is a dangerous circle because we don't know where the circle is actually going to end up until most likely phase 3, even phase 4, depending on how hard it shifts. We do actually see NGG making further north rotation, now coming up towards the side of SPECIALX. But as I mentioned earlier, SPECIALX don't have a full squad because Kenny is over in Stalba.
Well, one thing that SPECIALX did this game, Highland, is to pull away from Yasnaya. Early, they had some stronger games after Game 1 because Game 1 was just too much time spent around Yasnaya in this three-way standoff, and this is them bringing it into this area that was very strong in our Game 1, and they are already controlling this area here. Very, very strong spot, a lot of overlook potential, a lot of gatekeeping. If it go to shift anyway, like any form of hard shift, they may be in position as they find some shots onto Andy from EA. EA will join the party in this area of the map.
And despite it being a strong position, it also is a target, right? Because you see now these teams moving closer with NGG. You see Exotic Alliance coming from the northern side towards them, and this could potentially be the sandwich that executes the side of special effects in this game if they're not careful. You see ours is very low health. They win Carrot, now healing up. You see the potential for how quickly one of these teams could drop, especially if perhaps Andy, Deadly maybe, or another duo from EA move around the fields to try find a flank.
And that is this type of fight is so hard to wrap up, right? Like the biggest fear would be third party, and for them to. One fear that I have sometimes casting some lower tier scrims is for them to not know the limits of their ridge and the third person peak. But it seems like these teams know better and they will hold it down for now because they also have a position in a circle. It will be slightly a western shift, but it's not hard by any chance, by any means, I should say. Rozhok is in the dead center right now, and these teams may want to grab these locations. A lot of strong spots through like Headshot Hills, stay somewhat close to the river, and that may give them an advantage upon the next shift if it's going to be a hard one.
Yeah, they could potentially, as you say, could shift over to Town Headshot Hills. I think that Rozhok, of course, is the most likely, depending on how this zone goes. It has just actually centralized again onto Rozhok, which means we now see teams going to be looking at this location. Finally, of course, the other side, who are outside of Rozhok, can move to take position inside of the compound. You see Execute also positioning a little bit aggressively here, but preserved here. You've got Rolski on the bridge, you've got Zio scouting it out just to see if they can see who and where these teams are positioned in Rozhok. But behind them, they've got to be careful because MCES and also HARDSHIFT are above them. You see MCES rotating in to Execute, and with Rolski separated, this could be a dangerous fight for them to pick up.
Rokas, man, very strong player, and Execute a very strong squad, and you can see how they are trying to play the split, with Rokas trying to scout out everything on the eastern side, but MCES will find a spot here, Zishan, but will get pushed. That is Shady sending himself in. Execute is not in position to trade for this.
No, executing themselves here is MCES. Say thank you very much as they pick up a free kill there. Unfortunately, a little bit of miscommunication perhaps costs them now their advantage. 2-1 here is Phasio now have to take on this 2 versus 2 situation for MCE. Yes.
Southeastern Edge, though. Terra, the team up on your list just now. Highland Wolf is under immense pressure right now. 2 of them in their OP dip. 2 trying to overlook, but that doesn't matter. The captains will send it in. We'll take 1, we'll take 2, and Lilani will get picked up as well. The problem is to retreat out of this dip, but Baru is there to maybe stop the angle, but he will get knocked. That's a beautiful run. But where is it from? It's from Shelter. SCRIMFARM is still there, and Headshot is sending it, cruising through, and another knock on there as well. Terra will be terrorized by the enemies in this Irango game.
Yeah, they looked so strong with rotations in game 3, but are just struggling as a grenade into the car obliterates one more of terror, and Slyke has to try to escape here and evade his way from NGG as they move closer in. 4 members versus 1. Slyke has to pull off the miracle play with, of course, SCRIMFARM continue to come in behind versus Captains. Still that secondary fight happening as they make their way forward. Baru will fall for sure to Naya and the rest of SCRIMFARM up north, and Naya will become a killer. It will be Elenodo going almost down to Icy, but Icy does find it up, but not before being taken down himself from behind by Unique. And Unique now looking to find a final member of the side of Captains. It's only Rolo alive for his team. Has to try stay inside the smoke, has to get to El Nodo, but peeks his head out into the danger of SCRIMFARM as you see Hackshot as well in front. The Riddler's coming through the smoke, puts him to half health. The smoke screen's going out as SCRIMFARM try to revive Ice, and this could be his chance to try find one, but goes down.
The overlook is strong right there. SCRIMFARM almost lost Icy, but the support is timely. And meanwhile, don't forget Terra was the top on the list. First one out of this lobby, because we also have NGG trying to get into this fight from the high ground. The beautiful nade from Unique will finish the business. SCRIMFARM with 8 kills right now. They are here to show themselves.
SCRIMFARM have been underground, they're dominating the overground now when they're looking to try find a position inside the center of his zone. NGG best be ready because this team are looking unstoppable for game number 4 so far, but NGG have one advantage, and that is the fact they've got this cover. They've got a road between them and SCRIMFARM, which will allow them to buy time to retreat and get inside of the center zone first.
And look at this clash here. MCES around the bridge side. Look at the pincer formation from EA, but Andy went in a bit too much. Deadly across the street. Across the other street is back for Mercy. MCES holding this one strong. EA is trying to pinch this one, but they're so far apart, so hard to get support. As we have, what did I say, Highland Wolf? We said stay close to this Ripper because you may have to shift, and that's EA trying to finish some business before they need to move. That is another knock onto MCES. A lot of these teams will need to rotate away from this southern side of the map to move to the north part of the river, and Execute is already there.
I'm surprised the beg for Mercy going down here, and these shots going over across the other side of the bridge. HARDSHIFT aren't making their moves around to try get into the center of the zone, using the time that they have potentially, because now you see actually the side of SPECIALX moving away up north, as you mentioned, into this hard shift of the zone now onto phase 3. Teams making their way up to the north side with PANDA as well as Execute inside, but that fight continues with EA losing another, and it will be MCES controlling this bridge on Yasnaya with Whitey. Real no hope here for him unless he pulls off some sort of miracle to try find these snipes onto MCES.
Hartman with a bit of a cheeky angle will continue to hard peek that one to stop the support from coming. EA not having an easy game right now, but look at all the teams trying to rotate, may come into the area of control by the side of HARDSHIFT. NGG moving on that eastern side. Same for SCRIMFARM, a bit more eastern. Clash also have the same idea, rotating in the anti-clockwise manner, or going wide, trying to avoid the bridges is the name of the game. And that is also the southern side getting more and more congested. Lost still need to find an area, and Unicorns are already in that Watertown area.
Yeah, that Watertown will be where Unicorns do battle surely against Lost, unless they make a very, very quick flank, because there's only 10 seconds before that blue zone starts closing in around the western side. Try find some position just south of the shooting range. That area is open, but the fight right now will be against NGG to try stop side of SCRIMFARM from rotating. Banger and Hisk moving now to try sandwich Hackshot and Co from getting inside this zone. The Hackshot now finding the bullets against him, goes down to half health as now Naya also under fire, has to reposition. Keep in mind 2 members of NGG are behind him.
It's not going to be easy for NGG. It's not it looks like they're not under pressure yet, but with that buggy tire shot out for one of them players, with 2 of them rotating through the other team, SCRIMFARM is trying to punish this. Look at him, but really, and just hip firing. Ben, what the hell, man? That is them living another day. Oh no, I know. Ben is still around that location, but they will just live this one now. And that is now SCRIMFARM in the blue.
Yeah, they get a very excellent car rotation there. Allow them to keep themselves alive. Hackshot could not stop the power of NGG with that rotation. They just leave Hackshot alone because 202 also rotating around that same way. They get out and into safety of this zone, but MCES are still there on the other side. NGG will be waiting for them on the other side of the bridge. SCRIMFARM are not looking so hot right now.
You know who's also not looking so hot? It's 202. They've been around Yasnaya for a while, but they are only moving right now. The blue zone is ticking. It's going to be painful, and they have to go even further. Execute has the center spot, but like we always say, if you have a good split, it's all about when you're going to tighten and group up again. Teams are going to funnel into this area like a flood, and this is them needing to make that call. The experience from its fate as a IGL playing in the PMGC before needs to show what he can do. And
Unicorns of Love.
And look at that, they are coming in to breach that.
Unicorns of Love with a fantastic position right now, stopping the rotations from PANDA and actually also providing pressure onto Execute right now. They can no longer just take this center of the circle for free because Unicorns of Love are the ones with that high ground advantage over them. And Clash also taking shots onto HARDSHIFT as they will find a couple of knocks themselves. There's HARDSHIFT also trying just their best to gatekeep away Clash as they lose 2.
Oh my god, that northern side is going to get a bit dirty. But look at PANDA. We haven't seen them enough this game. Went back to Primos. They're now in here. Although they're not in the center, but they have such a good building to overlook the late rotating teams as well as scouting out. And most importantly, providing that support and cover for the vehicles as well. That is going to be an important one. 202 is now coming in, trying to overtake the side of MVP on this northern side. They will find the angles, some shots onto Kid, but Savanga's not from the side because Clash is in there to overlook this as well.
Clash take down one of 202. 2 remaining make it inside of the zone. And HARDSHIFT there will, alongside Lacanostra, moving in with 202 going, has to go even deeper with the rotation from Lacanostra straight into Execute. But Fate finds one onto Bowmans. Now we'll make it just 1 remaining now for the side of 202. Make it actually 2 members here, as Mido and Hermes do make it inside, as Execute will have that advantage. However, 3-on-2 situation. Unicorns of Love potentially could gatekeep away Lacanostra from behind. Look at also the rotations here from the south, though. You see Lost moving in, not for MCES. Also find themselves eliminated out of the game. 12 teams remaining.
Tribe Bimba used to be Lacanostra, I think, and now with NGG, they're trying to hold this down on that northern side. Just looking at Clash right now, this is the time for them to farm, but they also need to look forward. The next rotation might not be in their favor. A lot of uphill running that they will have to do as we have that. Oh my yay! Spicy though, spicy. The HARDSHIFT.
Spicy. Look where it's still in. It's still in Moshawk. It's still in the south end for the side of the other side. And they will be screaming with joy right now as they don't have to make that hard rotation. Unlike NGG, unlike MVP, who have not caught a break in this game for rotations. PANDA will also need to move in as they race into the side of the west for this zone. See Unicorns of Love also trying to keep their position and will be PANDA taking down the side of Lost. Lost will be eliminated for now. Just 1 remaining with Squash, but far into the zone will not surely be able to make it in with phase 5 now. And that will be the side of Lost eliminated. 11 teams remaining with PANDA making it in.
Look at Execute here, knowing when and how to tighten up the formation. They are now, with the circle given to them as well, they can stop the rotation coming from Panda, in particular Unicorns of La. Panda can play low ground along that river, but it's not going to be easy because, you know what, on the other side is on Rozhok, and they bet on that. Who would have thought staying on that spot will get them a spot in the circle? And look at HARDSHIFT trying to outplay the HARDSHIFT from the circle. Hartman sending the US into the river. He will get a spot, but he will be a swimmer for now. But we know sitting in the back seat of the car will get you a lot of potential to still not just heal, but shoot. We've seen some river play. Maybe this is their plan.
HARDSHIFT are known for rotating in late to this game, and they will do so potentially to decide on SPECIALX against them, as they still are in control of the mountainside. And when HARDSHIFT make their way up above this river, unless they cross over the bridge into the other side of the shoreline, where it might just be a little bit easier to get back into the game, albeit the side of the other side, though, are in a great position just to gatekeep HARDSHIFT from getting to that shoreline.
Speaking of gatekeeping, that is Rokas and its fate trying to stop the rotation from NGG, but that is its fate. No, Rokas is so low as well. The good knock onto them, also assisting them is the other side. MVP and NGG both gate capped by different teams. SCRIMFARM on one side stopping MVP. Rokas is here single-handedly trying to hold down NGG after the double knock from the car, and its fate is still slowly beating out, but the support will come in now. Execute still holding strong and has a spot. And look at that shift.
Look at that shift, and it's going to be Zio for the side of Execute to try to defend his position against Unicorns of Love and Panda. It's going to be difficult, but look at the Ridgies that actually the side of Execute have, and this is why their position is so strong, because the Ridgies are what protecting them from the shots in the line of fire from their enemies, but it will be the other side trying to find one onto the side of SPECIALX. They will do so, and SPECIALX will be put down to 2 members, but returned are Unicorns of Love onto
they can win this.
With that position, with that knockup, Rolski now to support not quick enough, and Unicorns of Love have opened the door for themselves to get inside of that ridge line too.
If they can control this ridge line and time the rotations, knowing all the defensive angles, they can do this. But the side of Panda might be able to flank this. XT trying to get some angles soon. He is slowly approaching that dip. Actually, it's the other player. But Unicorns, I thought they were out, but they just timed this right. They are now here to share that. Oh my god. SPECIALX in here as well. With the location, they can stop this. They can put so much pain onto OS, and that is the other side under so much pressure. The last player will go out to the blue. We've only got 6 teams left, Highland Wolf.
HARDSHIFT also finally making it to the shoreline as the other side get wiped out. 6 teams remaining for now as the players are getting obliterated by this zone is positioning. It will be Execute versus Unicorns of Love. Head he finds a one, but now behind him comes Icy and Naya. Has to try fend off 2 different positions. Fate is down. It's just him to try keep himself alive. The center of circles in their favor, but not right now. As will fall down. Naya will find it, but not before the beautiful grenade deletes away Naya from Unicorns of Love. And it will be now their team looking to try come over the ridge line, take control of Panda, who are on the bottom of that hill. HARDSHIFT and Vertex. Vertex losing one as Izumitsu gets grenaded himself by Lotus, providing the time that HARDSHIFT need to climb this summit of a hill onto Panda.
Oh my god. HARDSHIFT need to make this work now, but they've got Ridgeline. They can stop the rotation into the circle by Panda, and Unicorns might be in this to win this. They've got the high ground, they've got Ridgeline, they've got the numbers, they've got skills, they've got momentum, and soon they may get money, but they have to frag this even harder as they take out so much of the strong teams. SCRIMFARM went down with 15 kills, but these top 4 spots will still be volatile. Look at Panda sending it in. GK the first trying to hold that position down, and HARDSHIFT needs to move right now.
But look at Unicorns of Love. Ked starting to position themselves with press, but they execute onto PANDA. But so PANDA are repositioning to try find the kills. It will be Vertex to take down one of HARDSHIFT, make it 2. As with the help of Unicorns of Love now coming in, Lotus will fall down, but so an XT from the backside of Unicorns of Love make it a second as line goes down, and PANDA are just falling apart. It's Unicorns of Love coming from the top. Savage has been knocked. It will be first also to go down. 127, the only one alive. Can he keep himself alive? No, he will not. And Lotus will not be able to defend himself versus the full men of Unicorns of Love. And it will be them to take down the final chicken dinner.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Unicorns, yes! Oh, why is Agger not in this one? I'm a little bit sad. Like, I was watching them through that and through the past few days as well and that week, and I'm rooting for them. And yes! Show up, Unicorns! And that is them taking this win. They were conservative mid-game. They rotated at the right time. Very aware of what's going in front of them, and that's them taking the chicken dinner, very well deserved. And HARDSHIFT then knowing with that type of circle need to go back to the high ground, they allocated the resources, and that was actually Lotus made it from 4th place to 2nd place, 4 extra points there. That is good for them. It's a good showing, and good momentum coming into the coming week as they take the 2nd place with 3 kills. PANDA been playing slow, but by all means, just different styles. Very adaptive. I've seen them having 17 kills against pro teams as well, but they are here to take the 3rd place with 3 kills. And SPECIALX doing pretty decent the past 2 games as they grab that 4th place with 6 kills. And look at SCRIMFARM. You know what? I was going to pass over to you later, but I want you to have this one, Highland. Take it away. SCRIMFARM. My yay, oh my yay.
SCRIMFARM are able to try hold on, but do not hold on long enough. It will be 9 kills going over to them in the 5th position.
Come on.
It will be
quick
also...
maths. Think again.
Quick maths? Oh no, there's 6! There's 6 I'm missing. That's a little bit more than I imagined. It will be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 kills. Yay. My apologies there. Wow, I'm really bad in maths. I can go back to the classroom here. It will be XT that takes 6th position with 1. The other side with 7th and 1 kill. NGG in 8th with 3. MVP in 9th with 3 kills as well. 10th will be Clash with 4 kills. 202 squad in 11th position with 1. Lost will be in 12th with nothing, unfortunately. MCES ITALIA will be in 13th with 4 kills. Destiny in 14th with 0. 15th will be EA with the side of 2 kills. CPN will take 16th with 2 kills. Captains, yep. And 17th will be Terra with 0 kills, unfortunately, in the rear. Terra in last place, man. What a disappointment. I was waiting for them to try contest.
No, you cursed them. You cursed them from the backseat of your car. Did. And that is done. And but that is also Aston. Aston, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Once again, I'm your host, Professor Tarzan. Of course, Highland were very lovely, and we will be casting these. And of course, tonight is an event, but it will be the same format. Same staff, if not more staff, to make it smoother and slicker. So do stay in tune, and I do join the server if you're somehow like not part of that. That is in the description below. Do join us. We hold community scrims as well as these high tier scrims, and don't know what we'll do next week. Probably take a break because of 7 days straight of PMCO, and but thereafter we may continue, if not on a Sunday, a Friday, and your support will mean the world to us. Come back if you like us. Come back to Prodigy Esports Nation if that is the place for you to practice. We will be here for you. We're here to deliver consistent quality scrimmage if you like this place. And thank you so much. And well done, or have a brilliant night, brilliant week ahead. And then, of course, have a good 2021 spring split for your PMCO. Anything to add, Highland Wolf?
Well, of course, follow this guy, Professor Tarzan at Professor Tarzan on Twitter.
Ooh.
If you're feeling generous, follow myself as well. Prime Wolf content, okay? But yeah, I think that's it. And what a great 4 games! What a series this has been.
Brilliant, and we will. Obviously, there's still results to come out. It will be soon, guys, but I won't stay till then because I've got some family and people to feed. But if you really want to find out, like I said, the Discord server's down below and you'll be able to see it. If you want to find out who will bring that £60 home. And I guess that is us done. Take care, everyone, and I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye.